Alrighty, welcome back. It's Say Less Footy Tip Time, your favorite video of the week. Another fantastic round of NRL coming your way. Get excited. All starting on Thursday night. Another full round. All of the split rounds are over a few rounds ago, so just one team having a bye per round. As we do every week, we'll break the games down one by one, check out the team lists, and have our picks, and then stay tuned at the end. We'll do a quick recap, all the teams that we're backing for the week, and our tip of the week. So far, we are only 1 from 3. Started really well the first week. Got a bit cocky, tried to go a bit too far. Too many anytime try scorers. I don't even know what I'm going to pick just yet. I'm going to think about it on this video, and we're gonna go something simple. Just a nice little top up, maybe something around like $4 or $5. Easy money. Anyway, what I did miss in my debrief video earlier in the week was shout out to Cam McGuinness, 81 tackles, all-time tackle record. I think the closest on his team was Jack Williams with 49, playing 75 minutes, which is still absolutely awesome. But 81 tackles, what an absolute warrior he is, Cam McGuinness, and he's 100% an 80-minute player. So I can't see him doing that every single week, playing 80 minutes for the Sharks. But hey, you know what? When he does it, he's obviously going to make the tackles. Right. Let's get into the games. Let's just do it. Let's just go straight up. Roosters and the Seagulls. Now, both teams being very hot and cold. Mainly the Roosters have been the cold ones this season. Now, Seagulls can still make the eight. Like they're still, where are they? 25 points. They're only a point outside the eight. That draw mid-season with Newcastle. Um, yeah, but they can be very hot and cold. I mean, is there a bit of a formation coming there with Schuster and Cherry Evans? I mean, isn't the plan for him not to play there next season? I think he just is. Last week we saw him just sort of concentrate on making his tackles, and he doesn't have to do too much in attack when you got DCE there. The back line for the Roosters is just stacked full of stars. Obviously, Tedesco, Manu, Tupou, and Luke Keary, who's been. I think this has been one of Luke Keary's worst seasons. I think he's still getting over all the head knocks and the knee injuries, and there's just yeah. I can't blame Luke Keary, but definitely you look at the forward pack, and especially the front row. The Roosters look especially strong with JWH and Lindsay Collins up against Toff Sipley and Matty Lodge, who's actually been really, really good for since he's come in for Manly. Um, the back row and hookers like Turbo up against Victor. That's an absolute love a good matchup, as you'll hear every single week. Well, yeah, Turbo versus Bradley. That's great. Yeah, I think especially the interchange bench for the Manly Seagulls looks a lot better. Like Woodsy Madison, who's been great, Bullimore, and Ben Tavoyevich. Love Benny. Like I think he's going to be an absolute superstar, and I think obviously get through this season, have a full preseason, and next season's going to be his breakout season. I think he's going to be just as good as Tommy and Jake, if not better. Just an absolute, just awesome person as well. Just met him, good guy. Wishing Benny Tavoyevich all the best. Now he's back from injury. And saying that, just sort of, yeah, loving seeing Garrick at the fullback as well, up against Teddy. I absolutely love Tedesco. But I just think the Seagulls have more to play for, so I'm going to go with the Seagulls. Let's move on. So Titans versus Warriors. Warriors absolutely flying. The Titans, I look mathematically they can make the eight. Uh, there's still no Tino. The Warriors are absolutely flying. Like it's just a happy place to be for the Warriors. Like I can run through the team. Obviously, the Titans are pretty much at full strength, except they don't have Tino. Warriors pretty much the same. Um, Full strength. Can't see anyone that I have in there. I mean, there's a few sort of running around reserve grade for the Warriors that I might have up in the first team, but looking across the board, it's just been just the absolute winners of the year. Johnson, Egan, Fanua Blake have just been the three of the best players in the NRL this season, and I think look they're gonna make the top four. I just think like the Titans are gonna be desperate. They're at home Friday night. Like, I'm tipping the Warriors, but I would not be surprised if the Titans pulled off an absolute miraculous victory here to keep them alive in the competition. Moving on to the late game Friday now. This is huge. This is absolutely huge. It's Panthers versus Storm. Now, Panthers just wow, looking absolutely fantastic. Now, Tyron Peach is out, so they've brought Zach Hosking into the centers, he'll do the job. But I can see Isaac Tungo is on the extended bench, so he might be all right to come back. I think they're going to give him to the last minute to sort of come back and play. I just feel like you might probably losing a bit of speed there with Hosking, but he plays like his dad. He's just an absolute workhorse, and he'll get the job done. Looking across at the Storm, oh, just obviously the big three for the Storm, Munster, Hughes, and Harry Grant had a fantastic game last week, and we just saw exactly the skills that they can that they have. Uh, is it because their backline's a little bit more settled with Seve and Tonamapia coming in? I'm not sure. Will Walrick's been great. The forwards probably laid a better platform. Just this is a huge game. Obviously, biggest in for Melbourne's Big Nels. That's absolutely fantastic. They need him to sort of come up against Leota Fisher Harris um, in the front row. Liam Martin even it's just I think Melbourne usually play well against the Panthers. They didn't their last meeting. Obviously, they got dusted, but they really, really need to. They need this one. They dead set need this one. I think the Storm need it more than the Panthers. I think if the Panthers lose, they're not really gonna stress that much. If the Storm lose this, there's some panic buttons gonna start being hit. Um, you know, they're still in fourth. Like they're on 30 points. Like it's just you could start losing a couple of games on the trots leading in finals. You start to worry a little bit, but it's going to be a fantastic game. Look, Panthers have been unstoppable. I just like the Storm sort of team in and around their stars, and obviously it's like the stats of the salary cap's for. But I want to say Storm. I think obviously my comments about Munster. He's just the guy's something else, and I feel like this is a game like this is where he'll step up and just take charge and just do the absolute freakish, out of this world, alien things that Cam Munster does. Jerome Hughes, he's found his touch. Harry Grant, look, I'm talking myself into it. Like I'm gonna go the upset. I'm gonna take the Storm. That's right. I'm taking the Storm over the Panthers. Yeah, just Storm. On to Saturday now. All right. 3 o'clock game. This is weird that it's a 3 o'clock game, but okay. Cowboys up against Broncos. Cowboys need to win this to stay in the fight. Like mathematically, they're still in the fight, even if they lose this game. But they're sitting in eighth. Um, obviously upset against the Titans on Sunday. Just wow. But I mean, Broncos can go back to the top. They might, and let's say Panthers lose, like this could get the minor premiership. I mean, actually, speaking of the minor premiership, do teams actually care? Is it actually a big thing they get the minor premiership? I guess if you won the minor premiership but you didn't win the actual comp that season, I guess you treasure it a bit. But I mean, look across the board, Semi Balame still keeping out the odd stayer, Kyle Felt. I feel like a big game like this is really important. You kind of want to bring someone with the experience in. Jake Granville's been fantastic for them, but like Broncos just looking stacked. I just like this is always a close game. I don't know. The bench for Cowboys looks better. It's at Cowboys home game. I think the Broncos are a different beast this year. Like, I wasn't a believer early in the season, but I think now I am, and I think I'm going to stick with the Broncos here over the Cowboys. Yeah, but oh, don't be surprised if this goes to Golden Point. I think yeah, it's going to be a very tight match. On to the 5:30 game. Dolphins versus Knights. Now, Knights are absolutely just bossing it at the moment, and like obviously you hear like whatever's going on in the background. The the board is sort of interviewing new coaches or looking for new coaches behind Adam O'Brien's back. They've always seemed like a bit of a like I think sort of when Nathan Brown going out, we sort of saw that as well, and their boards remain a bit quiet now, but it's starting to sort of get that sort of rear its ugly head again. But I think what the Knights are like, you got to think like all of the talk about bringing in halves and stuff. Like, look at the halves and what they're doing at the moment. Like Hastings and Gamble, like the team at the moment's playing really well, and I feel like they'll be galvanized around the coach as well. Dolphins flooding a few young players, which exactly what they should be doing. I think they can see that they're not going to make finals. It's just it's still mathematically possible. The same with the Titans and the Roosters, but I think I think the Dolphins are doing the right thing, and it's obviously Wayne Bennett looking to the future. Yeah, Knights to beat the Dolphins here. And the 7:30 game, Rabbitohs versus Sharks. Now they're both on the same points. Um, Sharks are in free fall. Something has got to give here. Like someone other than Cam McInnes needs to make a tackle. Like I know that sounds a bit unfair, but like they're both sitting on 26 points along with the Cowboys. Like any slip ups here, they're gone. How can you? The Rabbitohs didn't look convincing against the Tigers. We can all agree on that. The Sharks have not looked convincing at all. And yeah, I think, looking at the matchups, like what a time to lose Will Kennedy. I love Connor Tracy. I think he's the best utility in the NRL, and I know that's a huge call, but like lining up for your debut. I don't know if it's a debut at fullback, but like playing fullback in a very important match, and Latrell's on the other side. I hope Connor Tracy has an absolute barnstormer. Campbell Graham up against Jesse Ramian. I feel like Campbell Graham is just going to absolutely boss him. Sorry, Jesse, but Graham is just so good this season. Yeah. Then Nico Hines needs to just stop overthinking what he's doing and just run the ball. Run the ball. Nico Hines, run the ball. Just you're absolutely so talented, and I think so much of what the team's doing and directing it around and like just run the ball. Just run the ball, throw some dummies, just but bend the line, something. Nico Hines, run the ball. Anyway, who am I picking? I can't pick the Sharks. I've got to pick the Rabbitohs. That just seems like, yeah, they're both desperate teams. They both need to win, but I'm going with the Rabbitohs. On to Sunday now. Eels versus Dragons. Look, Dragons are an absolute schmozzle. Eels need to win this. They're sitting in 11th. King Gutho's playing the house down. They're 2 points outside the eight. They've had a couple of big opponents the last couple of weeks and lost. They'll beat the Dragons. Eels, absolutely, will get the win there. And then the last game is the Raiders versus Tigers. Raiders sitting in fifth. Like, I remember sort of, round 6, 7 thinking, wow, like the Raiders are down the bottom of the ladder. Don't write off Ricky. Don't write off Ricky. They've had a couple of tight games over the last few weeks, but oh, Like I'm gonna say I'm gonna go for the Tigers because I go for the Tigers. I never change my tips. Always back your team. But you know, over history, the Raiders. It's always been a very close game, and I think we've had the wood over the Raiders. They beat us in a famous grand final. If you're old enough to remember that, but the Raiders should win this one. But yeah, as I said, go on the Tigers. Bulldogs get the bye. Moving away from that wooden spoon. Yeah. Quick recap. So, Seagulls over the Roosters, Warriors over the Titans, Storm over Panthers, Broncos over Cowboys, Knights over Dolphins, Rabbitohs over Sharks, Eels over Dragons, and well, Raiders will beat the Tigers, but West Tigers. That's my tips for the week. Now, tip of the round. Well, well, well. Tip of the round. Look, you know what? When in doubt, let's go back to where we started. Now, we go back to the Warriors. The Warriors will win. The Warriors will beat the Titans. I'm going to say DWZ try scorer. Warriors to win. DWZ try scorer. Anytime try scorer. And we need another try scorer. And I think throw AJ Brimson in there for a try for the Titans, just to add a little bit of value. So Warriors to win, DWZ and AJ Brimson, anytime try scorer. That is my tip of the week. We've made it to the end. Thanks for making it this far. As I said at the start, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or give us a like, subscribe here, like anything to get the numbers up. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching to the end. Say less. Peace out.